What if I told you the real enemy wasn't in the streets, but sleeping in the penthouse next to Jim Jones this whole time? Yeah, you heard that right. Because just when you thought reality TV couldn't get any messier, boom, Camron drops a bomb so loud it shook Harlem straight off the map. Forget rap beef, forget label wars. This is betrayal in HD. Apparently, Chrissy wasn't just flipping houses. Sis was flipping loyalties. And guess what? Camron's receipts are hotter than the summer streets of New York. We're talking leaked recordings, shady wire transfers, and backdoor deals so slimy. Even Love and Hip Hop producers said, nah, that's too much. So now the question is, was Jim played like a rookie in his own empire? Was Chrissy running a long con the whole time while wearing that ride or die crown? Or is Camron just stirring the pot for clout? Buckle up, because this is more than tea. This is boiling lava. The kind of scandal that makes Twitter explode and careers implode. You think you know Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones? Think again. Asterisk. Let's rewind this mess for a second. Because what you're about to hear isn't just another hip-hop love story gone wrong. It's betrayal on a level so raw. It makes reality TV look like a Disney Channel reboot. At the center of this chaos is none other than Jim Jones, Harlem's own Dipset veteran, and the man we all thought had love and loyalty on lock. And beside him for years stood Chrissy Lampkin. It's the woman who proposed to him on national TV. The woman who wore the title of Ride or Die like a diamond-studded crown. But what if we told you she wasn't riding for him, she was riding right over him? And now Camron, Dipset's mouthpiece and Jim's former brother-in-arms, has stepped into the spotlight to blow the whistle on a secret so twisted it's making Harlem gossip circles do backflips, according to Camron and his insiders. Chrissy wasn't just chilling in the background, flipping houses and snapping selfies. Sis was making moves. Secret ones, strategic ones. It's the kind of moves that require burner phones, hidden accounts, and more lies than a politician on election day. We're talking about hidden alliances, financial side hustles, and allegedly using Jim's name to pull off dirty deals behind his back. And the kicker? Jim had no idea. Blind loyalty is cute on Instagram. In real life, it'll bankrupt your soul and your bank account. But here's where it gets even messier. This isn't the first time Chrissy's name has been surrounded by whispers. Let's not act brand new. Longtime fans of Love and Hip Hop remember the tension between Chrissy and Jim's circle, his mother, his friends, even industry heads who always had that something's off look when Chrissy walked into the room. There were always rumors, allegations of manipulation, controlling behavior, even whispers that Chrissy was more interested in empire building than actual love. But it was all brushed off. It's just protective, just strong, just about her business. Right? Wrong. Because now, years later, the receipts are rolling in. Camron has allegedly come into possession of recordings, actual conversations, where Chrissy is heard plotting, scheming, and quite literally laughing at how easy it's been to control Jim's narrative. One leaked snippet supposedly has her saying, "Let him think he's in charge. Meanwhile, I've got the real power." If true, that's not just betrayal. That's villain origin story material. Sources close to the situation, anonymous of course, because nobody wants Chrissy knocking at their door, claim that she's been working closely with individuals outside Jim's camp. We're talking about people he's had beef with. People who've actively worked to sabotage his music, his image, his legacy. And while Jim was out here performing, giving interviews, talking about growth and loyalty, Chrissy was allegedly setting traps like a Netflix villain in heels. It's giving calculated. It's giving empire building. It's giving he had no idea she was playing chess while he was playing house. Let's talk money, because love don't cost a thing unless you're Jim Jones, apparently. Multiple sources say Chrissy had access to joint accounts, shared investments, and business ventures where Jim trusted her with full control. That trust? Yeah, that was apparently weaponized. Several so-called projects Chrissy was managing ended in financial disaster losses that Jim ended up taking the fall for. We're not talking a couple $1,000s missing from a shoe deal. We're talking six-figure investments that vanished like they were never real. And the most disturbing part? There's evidence to suggest that these failed ventures were never meant to succeed. They were smokescreens, distractions, part of a bigger play. At this point, you're probably wondering, where was Camron during all this? Why now? Why speak up? According to him, and this is where the petty gets poetic, he stayed quiet out of loyalty. Loyalty to Jim. Loyalty to the Dipset name. But when he realized Jim was being played like a fiddle and Chrissy was orchestrating the whole damn symphony, he couldn't keep quiet anymore. Cam claims he watched his brother spiral. Not just emotionally, but financially. Professionally, mentally, and the entire time Chrissy was there smiling. Posting couple goals on Instagram while allegedly digging his grave one shady deal at a time. People close to Cam say he's got more than just audio clips. There are documents, emails, screenshots, a digital trail of deceit. And while we haven't seen everything yet, the little that's been teased has already got the streets buzzing. Fans are torn. Some are calling Chrissy a criminal mastermind. Others think Cam's just stirring the pot for clout. But here's the thing: when multiple sources, recordings, and financial inconsistencies start lining up like dominoes, it's hard to pretend this is just a coincidence. And Jim, poor Jim, he's reportedly in shock. Sources say he's gone. Radio silent. Friends say he's barely speaking, barely eating. Locked away trying to piece together how the woman he trusted most could be at the center of the biggest betrayal of his life. Imagine building a life with someone only to find out they were playing for the other team the entire time. That's not heartbreak. That's demolition. And we're not done yet. Because just when you think you've hit rock bottom, another trapdoor opens. Chrissy's connections don't stop at backroom business deals. Rumors are flying about secret meetings with rivals. Hush-hush real estate flips with dirty money. And even ties to former industry enemies who've always had it. Out for Jim, the kind of alliances that make you wonder, was she ever really on his side? Or was this a long con from the start? Camron is reportedly preparing to go public with everything. He's dropping cryptic hints, posting throwback pictures with loaded captions, and making it clear that this is personal. Real personal. I tried to warn him, he allegedly told a friend. But sometimes, love makes you blind. Now I'm making sure he sees the truth. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, so it does. Because according to one source, there's more coming. Much more. The audio, just the tip of the iceberg. Apparently, there's video, surveillance footage, phone records, bank transfers, all allegedly pointing to a years-long web of manipulation, deceit, and calculated betrayal. Jim may have thought he had a queen by his side. Turns out, he might have been living with the queen of chaos. And now that the curtain's being pulled back, we're all watching the same horror show unfold in real time. Part 2 is where it gets even nastier. We're diving headfirst into the audio tapes, the social media meltdowns, the fans choosing sides, and the alleged money trail that's leading straight into legal hell. Stay tuned, because the deeper we go, the uglier it gets, and we're just getting started. And just like that, the audio tapes hit the streets, and let's just say, Harlem hasn't been this shook since the Jay-Z versus Nas era. The voice on the tape, it sounds eerily like Chrissy. The tone, cold, calculated, clinical. She's allegedly heard discussing controlling the narrative, keeping Jim in check, and worst of all, keeping the money separate just in case things go left. Now, we're not forensic experts, but when you hear someone say, "He don't need to know what I know as long as he thinks we're good," you don't need subtitles to understand that's betrayal with a capital B. The reactions came fast. Fans flooded social media, and the takes were hotter than Camron's pink mink in 2002. One viral tweet said, "Chrissy really pulled a Netflix villain arc in real life," while another declared, "Jim built a kingdom and handed the keys to a queen who already sold the castle behind his back." Even Love and Hip Hop alumni jumped in the fray. Some defended Chrissy, claiming the tapes were edited or taken out of context. Others, not so much. A few castmates threw major shade, suggesting they saw signs years ago, but kept quiet for the check. Meanwhile, Jim Jones, silent. No tweets, no Instagram stories, no cryptic song lyrics. It's just radio silence. According to someone in his inner circle, he's been devastated. Word is, he's been taking meetings with lawyers, business managers, and, get this Steven, a private investigator, because apparently even Jim doesn't know just how deep this rabbit hole goes. And with every leak, every tape, every whisper, he's finding out he didn't just lose love, he may have lost millions. Now, let's talk finances. Because the money trail in this mess is uglier than a Dipset reunion that starts on time, insiders are saying Chrissy used her influence to insert herself into multiple deals on Jim's behalf. Only Jim didn't know. A real estate project in Miami, Chrissy signed for it. A failed fashion venture in Atlanta, Chrissy's name was on the paperwork. And when those deals collapsed, Dan, oh boy did they collapse, guess whose name was on the hook? Q guessed it. Jimmy Dot, but it doesn't stop there. There are claims that she took out loans in both their names, then funneled the money through shell companies. One anonymous source close to the situation said, "She built a financial web so complex it would take an accountant with FBI clearance just to untangle it." And while these claims are still unconfirmed, let's just say receipts are surfacing, screenshots, contracts, wire transfers, all pointing to a financial setup that would make even the Wolf of Wall Street say, "Damn, she bold." And then there's the most damning leak yet, a voicemail, reportedly from Chrissy to a third party, where she says, "Let him crash, I'm already gone." That voicemail is reland. Fans are dissecting it frame by frame like it's the Zapruder film. Then it confirms everything Camron's been saying. Chrissy wasn't just playing defense. She was calling offensive plays against the man she claimed to love. As for Chrissy, she's been suspiciously quiet. No responses. No statements. No dramatic IG live denying the claims while sipping wine in her bathrobe. Just silence. Which, to be honest, makes it worse. Because when you've been accused of plotting against your man, draining his finances, and secretly working with his rivals, going ghost doesn't scream innocence, it screams, "I lawyered up." It's also worth mentioning that Jim's mom, Mama Jones, has apparently never liked Chrissy. And now, with all this coming to light, folks are digging up old clips where Mama Jones basically predicted all of this. One resurfaced scene shows her saying Chrissy's not who she pretends to be. Back then, people brushed it off as drama. Today, that clip is being played with the caption, "The mother always knows." So where does this leave us? Jim Jones is in a financial tailspin. Camron is throwing shade with the precision of a sniper. And Chrissy is allegedly watching it all unfold from behind the scenes like the final boss in a video game. And while this might seem like the climax of the story, we're not even close. 'Cause what's coming next? Government heat, legal investigations, alleged fraud cases, whispers of indictments. And just when everyone thought this scandal couldn't possibly get any more explosive, the legal hammer started to swing in hard. What began as whispers in Harlem barbershops and viral tweets suddenly turned into very real legal investigations, according to sources close to the matter. Financial regulators started sniffing around Jim's assets, asking questions about missing funds, shady LLCs, and questionable business filings tied directly to Chrissy's alleged operations. One leaked report claimed there were discrepancies in over 7 financial entities. 7 linked back to investments Jim didn't even know he had signed off on. And the problem? His name is on the paperwork, not Chrissy's. If those Deals are proven fraudulent. Guess who gets dragged into the mess? Not the mastermind allegedly behind the curtain, but the face on the brand. The man in front of the camera, the one who trusted too much. Lawyers are scrambling. Insider sources claim Jim has already fired 2 of his longtime advisors and brought in a crisis management team because this is no longer just relationship drama. This is career-ending chaos. The fallout is spreading like wildfire. Brands that once courted Jim for endorsements are suddenly reassessing their partnerships. A sneaker collaboration that was supposed to drop next quarter, quietly shelved. An international tour that was in early talks, radio silence. The industry moves fast, and the moment it smells a scandal this dirty, it doesn't wait for explanations. It just backs away and moves on to the next clean name. And here's the real kicker. Sources say some of the people Chrissy was allegedly working with were intentionally setting Jim up to take the fall. That's right. The same woman who stood beside him on red carpets called him her king, and vowed forever might have been orchestrating a setup so elaborate it deserves its own limited series on Netflix. Apparently, these deals weren't just about cash, they were about control. Chrissy allegedly positioned herself as a silent partner in multiple ventures, using Jim's reputation to open doors while diverting the benefits elsewhere. One particularly damning leak suggests she was funneling profits into a private account connected to a property in the Caribbean. Translation: while Jim was out grinding, Chrissy was allegedly planning her exit complete with beachfront views and offshore accounts. And let's not forget the psychological toll. Sources close to Jim say he's a shell of the man he used to be. The confident, loud, proud capo of Dipset has gone eerily quiet. He's reportedly withdrawn from several public appearances, canceled recording sessions, and even stopped answering calls from some of his closest friends. One source put it bluntly: he feels like everything he built has been torn down from the inside. Is she cooperating? Flipping? Covering her own tracks? Nobody knows for sure, but the optics are bad. Real bad. Fans have turned. What was once Chrissy and Jim forever has now become Chrissy the con queen in every comment section, from the Shade Room to Reddit threads with 10,000 upvotes. Supporters are deleting old posts, YouTubers are uploading timeline breakdowns, and Twitter is eating this mess like it's Thanksgiving leftovers. Meanwhile, Camron, never one to miss a moment, is now hinting that this story might go deeper than just betrayal. And then there's the elephant in the room. Does Chrissy even care? Because so far she hasn't shown it. No press conference, no apology, no tearful IG live claiming innocence. Just silence, which only makes the conspiracy theories grow louder. Some think she's hiding. Others believe she's already overseas. One viral theory claims she's been planning this for years, slowly isolating Jim from his team, draining accounts, and setting up her escape plan while playing the long game of love and loyalty in front of the cameras. But if Chrissy thought she could disappear into the shadows, she underestimated one thing: the internet never forgets. And Camron, oh, he's not done. Word on the street is he's ready to drop more receipts videos, voicemails, maybe even court filings. And if even half of what he's hinting at is true, Jim's entire empire could be hanging by a thread. From possible audits to criminal charges, the path forward is looking more like a war zone than a comeback. But here's the wildest parts. Some people are still riding for Chrissy, claiming she was protecting herself, that she was tired of being in Jim's shadow, that maybe Jim wasn't as innocent as he seems. And while those voices are in the minority, they've sparked the biggest question of all. Who's the real villain here? The woman who allegedly pulled the strings, or the man who refused to see the signs? Either way, the damage is done. Jim is facing an avalanche of consequences: legal, financial, emotional, and Chrissy's legacy? Let's just say whatever empire she thought she was building, it's burning fast. The love story is dead, the fairy tale is shattered, and what's left behind is a cautionary tale for every celebrity couple who thinks loyalty is enough. It's not. not when ambition, money, and betrayal are in the mix. This is no longer just gossip, it's a takedown. And we'll be watching every second of what comes next. So now that the truth is out in the open, whose side are you really on? Is Chrissy the cold mastermind behind Jim's downfall? Or is there more to the story we haven't seen yet? Jim too blind to see the betrayal creeping up from inside his own house? We want to hear from you. Drop your raw, unfiltered thoughts in the comments below. Jim or Team Chrissy? Hit that like button if this scandal had you shook. Subscribe if you're ready for more bombshells, and ring the bell so you never miss another twist. Because trust us, this story is just heating up. The next chapter might be even messier than the last. Stay tuned, stay loud, and keep those receipts ready. If you think this was wild, just wait till you see what's coming next. The truth isn't done talking, and neither are we.